Jennifer. Yep, Jennifer. Oh, Jack.
Hey,
Are you outside, Norm? You look like
Look
you're.
outside.
No.
Oh, I just came in. I just came in from the.
The other Norm.
Is my smiling face showing?
Yes.
All I see is Linda and.
No, there's no face. There's no face.
We don't see a face.
No face?
No, but we're just talking to a black spot.
That's weird. Yeah, now I see it. I wonder, doggone it. Jeez, how do you get the darn face? I hate these things.
there's a place somewhere that says start video.
Start video.
You need to not.
He's got audio only.
Or I can mute it.
No, good. Turn it up.
Crap.
No, the volume
God, I
is
hate
up,
these things.
but if you chew, then everybody in the world's gonna hear it.
Amazon.
Hi, Pam.
Never.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, you're the phone?
Piece of crap.
I'm on my phone, yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, darn.
Norm.
Hey, Norm, are you on your phone or on a computer?
I'm on the phone, yes, but I just.
Sounds like he's on the floor.
I lost everything. Jeez, doggone piece of crap.
Oh, we still got you.
Click here to join. Okay, got that. Click here to join.
And then click audio.
Do I do Samsung or Zoom? Zoom, I guess, huh?
Zoom.
Zoom.
Well, you're already on here, so I don't know what you're
I am?
seeing.
Yes, Pam's here.
I can't see anybody.
No, I'm just on my telephone. No video.
Pam is here, but she's on her video or on her phone. We don't see you, Norm. Owen.
Anybody. Jeez. God, I hate these things. Okay, there's Sue. I see Sue.
Oh,
hey, we got you.
There's Bob.
Oh, that's Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Why isn't there a picture of me?
I don't know.
It's a good
Yeah.
video.
You have your camera on your.
Oh, there it is down there. Oh, jeez, God.
You found a thing that said start video?
Hey!
Hey,
I wish you wouldn't scare me like that.
Yeah.
You got to look at all the little corners of the screen, Miss Norm.
I hate these things.
We need to practice you more. Hi, Sam.
Sam.
Let's see.
Hello, Sam.
Whose dog we got? Pam, is that you again?
Oh, that's Pam's dog. Yeah.
Or, that must be Pam.
I'll go in a different room.
Pam.
Yes, I'll go in a different room.
There's Marty. There's Bob and Marty.
Hey, Bob and Marty.
Put it on
Bob and
video
Marty,
so we
hey.
can
Hi,
see.
Bob.
Hey.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam.
Oh, hi, Norm.
Hi there. Finally got it there.
Yeah, hi to you, Norm.
Hi.
Got two Norms tonight.
yeah.
You got number one over pointer and number two for this speaker. 1 and 2, it's easy
Yeah.
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, now it's easy.
Hey, Bob and Marty, by the time I backed the boat in the slip the other day, you'd done your flyby and had left. I missed you.
Actually, we were on our boat for a while,
Yeah,
weren't we?
yeah, we spent.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we spent the
yeah.
night.
I missed you all the way around. When I finally got things settled and checked, you'd already gone.
Well, we had places to go. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we
had-
came back.
We had appointments, but we came back, so.
Okay.
So,
Hey, Glenn. I found out that when you go on a diet, if you lie about your physical stats, if you put down your 6'5" and 245, you get a lot of calories to use during the day.
Yeah, I know it.
Jennifer Pope.
Glad to see everybody.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to see everybody.
Well,
It's been a
Hope it
long time.
I wore my Russian sailor's cap in case this thing goes viral. Someone may recognize me.
Oh, I'm so glad you did, Norm. It helped me know who I was talking to.
Exactly.
Glad to know we got the Admiral with us.
Thank you.
Should we trust you? This is the
Aha!
Yeah.
You've been watching too much news.
There's
Hey, Bob,
Bob Root.
no audio.
Yeah, he's.
Hey, Bob. Bob Root?
Yay, Bob Root.
I think we've all been watching too much news.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I
Don't
don't watch the news.
Hey, Jack. Connecting to audio. Joe Bless.
Hey, Joe.
Oh my goodness, hey, Joe. Where's Joe?
Oh,
Right
Yeah.
there.
There he is. Holy cow.
Yeah, on your phone, you have to scroll back and forth, don't you, Norm?
Yeah.
But you know how to do that now.
Well, I just move it with my finger.
Yeah.
I've been in this computer 3 hours with Xfinity and then 2 hours with Groupon.
Oh, no.
I just almost lost it.
Oh.
But I didn't lose it because if I lost it, who would I call? So I said, I just better hang on to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who you gonna call?
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up.
Well, I can't say enough bad things. And
Yeah.
my mother said, don't say anything bad about anybody. So I'll zip it.
Okay.
And they asked for a response after the, are they kidding? No
Hey,
way.
Greg.
Greg,
They got a good crowd tonight.
Well, we
Good.
got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on mute earlier. I apologize for not saying something. I was,
Okay.
Hey,
We
Bob.
got you in.
Jack Cook's got some fearsome backlighting. You can hardly see him.
I'll turn it off.
the glare. Yeah, it's the glare.
Ah, yeah.
There he is.
Move it.
Hey, that's good.
Okay.
So what happened to Jim, Sue?
He's sitting right here.
He's there. Okay, I didn't see
It's
him.
not a camera up
Here.
here.
Ah, oh, I see a shiny head up there.
Got to put his hair on.
That's cool.
All right. As my granddaughter would say, Jim, you forgot to put your hair on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, Sue.
Jim Jim had some surgeries, had a little spot removed and he had stitches and we called to wish our grandson a happy birthday, 3 years old. And he was so upset that Jim had a bandage on.
Oh.
So we talked to them about a week later after he got the bandage off. You could hardly see the stitches, so he couldn't on the FaceTime. And he's like, "You don't have any hair."
As if he didn't know.
Right. So,
When
Hey,
when does this meeting start?
Right now.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
We got
Sorry.
20 about 25% of people members. It'd be nice
We
to have.
got more coming.
I don't know. It'd be nice if we did, but I don't know. It might be interesting to next calling, find out, what the issue is. Some people just don't want to be on video
Right.
and others have schedule problems, but it'd be good to know if they just didn't feel comfortable and need help in setting it up. And I'll be willing to do that.
They could have worn a Halloween mask or something. That would have.
Yeah.
Well,
All
I
right.
Got mine on.
wish I wore a captain's hat. Like
That's
Norm.
my
There's
disguise.
Joe Sumter coming in. remodeling solution.
I just went out looking like myself with no mask. That scared the hell out of everybody.
There you go.
Hello,
So who's
Joe?
on who's on the telephone?
Pam.
Pam Trotter was.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
still here.
Remodel. That's Chatt again.
Hey, John.
Did Joe come on? Sumter?
Yes.
He's working
Hey.
on it.
His sign is on, now he's connecting.
Okay, good. They're actually, their boat is at Aqua Marina right
Oh,
now.
really? Cool.
Which marina?
Had them Aqua,
It's
where the Tin Top and the Trinity come together.
How you go?
Hey, there he is. Hey. Turn your mic on, Joe.
Hello,
Hey.
everybody.
There you go.
There, we got him on
See
now.
y'all.
No.
So we didn't have good cell service, so we had to come up on the fly bridge.
Is it cold there?
Yeah, we got our coats on.
Oh,
Okay, well, I think we can begin. There maybe some more that'll join us, but anyway, welcome to everybody that's with us now, and we're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to have Sue lead us.
all right. We'll do a breath salute, please.
I've got to.
I pledge, I'm sorry, you ready? Okay.
Yes.
Breath salute. I pledge
Allegiance
allegiance
to the flag
of
Of
the
the
United
States
of
of
America
America,
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic
for which
which
it
for which
stands,
it stands,
One
One
day.
nation,
indivisible,
under God,
Indivisible.
indivisible,
with liberty
and
and
justice
For all.
for all.
Which it stands for.
Thank you, Sue. And to maintain our standards, I'll have our chaplain lead a little prayer here to get us in the right spirit.
And so let us bow our heads and Lord God, we thank you for bringing us together this evening and making it possible for us to see each other and interact when we haven't been able to be together for a long time. And Lord, we ask you to help us as we think about the future and how we will be responding to what the needs are. But above all, we ask that the pandemic be ended as soon as possible so that our country may return to normal as soon as it can. And we pray for all of the people who have died during the past few months. We ask all of this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Sue. And again, it's nice to see everybody. And what we'd like to do tonight is what I'm looking forward to is, as I mentioned in the Seaway, is have a sharing with those that are here that are interested in doing that about your really good feeling boat experience, and in a couple of minutes share something that we could all relate to, that takes us back to a time when you remember on the water and you had such a wonderful time, and you have such good feelings when you think about it. So we could begin with Sue. We'll start and then we'll go right on around.
well, my memory is from when we first got the boat. We had just started boating. We were in New
Yeah.
Orleans we were in New Orleans. We took the boat out with our grandchildren and our son and daughter-in-law. And we're out out by the bridge, the I-10 bridge that crosses Lake Pontchartrain and the Wrigley's, between the Wrigley's and Pontchartrain. And our granddaughter at the time was just like 3 years old, and she was scared to death. The sound of the engines just really intimidated her, and she clung to her mother and was just obviously very agitated. So we just happened to go under the bridge, and we're headed out to Wrigley's, and a pod of dolphins came alongside the boat. And so we were all excited about it. We got her to look at those dolphins, and immediately she relaxed. She was ready to climb out the window. And she enjoyed the whole ride after that. We flew a kite off of the back of the boat and just tootled around the Wrigley's and Pontchartrain and had a really good time. It was a really good experience for her. And she's always loved the boat after that. That's my memory.
Hey, we got a new sign on, Brian.
Hey there.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
But we lost the Sumter.
Oh, dear.
Holy cow, there he is.
Hey, we got Brian, but lost something.
Oh, well, I run a lot of people off like that.
No.
Good to see you, Brian. Okay, Jim, you got anything to share?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what I'll say is, out of all the miles we traveled, I get people ask every now and then what was the prettiest part of doing the loop and 25,000 miles that we traveled. And to me, probably the prettiest was the Thousand Island area up at as Lake Ontario dumps into the beginning of St. Lawrence. And just the scenery, the little islands, the clarity of the water, just everything about it was just picture perfect. But the more we cruised the Tennessee River, I'll say that the Tennessee River scenery comes in a very close second. And especially if you go up to Watts Bar, go up river a little bit. Watts Bar and the coves and the small islands and the clarity of the water, to me, were right up next to the Thousand Island area. So all of us cruising the Tennessee River really need to get out off of Chickamauga every now and then and go down towards the gorge and look at the leaves changing, get up to Watts Bar, get up to Little Tennessee River at the foothills of the Smoky Mountains that we did 4 years ago. It's just beautiful cruising here. So sometimes you don't know what you got till you don't got it no more.
Great. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Linda?
Well, I thought a lot about this because there were so many beautiful times after we got our first little boat and started water skiing, and then we got our houseboat and we lived on it during the summer times, and it was so beautiful. But then I said, now what was the really thing that kind of just took me and just changed my brain? And I came up with the fact that 2 or 3 years ago, and it was the eclipse. And we got in our Sea Ray with we brought some friends, and we traveled up to near Sail Creek Marina in a little cove. We turned in, and there were about 10 boats in the cove, and everybody's just having a ball and just like partying like crazy. And it was so much fun, and we just had our drinks and sat there and just had a wonderful time. And we started looking up, and then it came, and all of a sudden everything got dark, And we looked up
Yeah. It was the total.
and
The crown.
John was fooling around with his camera. And in an instant, he inadvertently just pressed it. And when he pressed it, not even knowing what he had done, this is what happened. And we got the wonderful, wonderful picture. And it's the diamond. And we were so excited. Of course, we had this thing made and put it in our kitchen, and I look at it every day. And all of a sudden, all of those people who were partying on all those 10 boats, everything in that slough was completely silent, except all of a sudden the cicadas started when it got dark, which was wonderful. And I will never, ever experience anything as touching from God as this was. And that was it.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. That was a beautiful moment for us when we saw that. Okay, I was going to share another one, but I just thought of one that came to me. We were on vacation a number of years ago, down in Longboat Key, yeah, Sarasota here.
Mm-hmm.
And my son and my grandson came up from Hollywood area, Fort Lauderdale, to visit us while we were there. And so they had a little catamaran type sailboat there that they rented out. So I asked them if they would like to go with me, and we'd take it out. And so they did. And so we got on it, started out, and it's a nice breeze. We're going out pretty good. And in the corner of my eye, off to the distance to the left, and they weren't looking that direction, I saw a fin, and it was coming towards us. And I thought, I don't know, that doesn't look good. So I didn't say anything, but I noticed it turned and went back. So I kind of, we'll just continue going the way we are, and we were moving along pretty good. Then a couple of minutes later, here it comes again, and it's really moving fast this time, and it's headed right towards us. And just as it got in front of the boat, it leapt out of the water. It was a giant porpoise, and it blew water out of his blowhole. And it was the most amazing thing. My grandson's eyes were big as saucers. And it was like, welcome to my world. And of course, they took off. And what a beautiful experience. But that's one of those moments you never forget. So that was special. So who's next? Norm?
Well, every time I go out in the boat with someone, I just enjoy the heck out of it. And I've had so many wonderful experiences. I would be hard pressed to narrow it down to just one. So I'm just going to say just a bunch and a lot of friends, and thank you all. And next person.
Okay, Norm number 2, Norm Boardman.
I think traveling down through Lake Erie and the Erie Canal, coming up out of Rochester, and going by Niagara Falls, that was a good trip.
That sounds beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Jennifer, you want to demute yourself here? There you go.
All right. I think for me, we spent a lot of time marina hopping. So for me, one of the prettiest times was when we did our crossing from Apalachicola to Tarpon Springs, and we were out on the water overnight. And it was just a perfectly clear night, not a cloud in the sky. The moon was almost full. There were maybe 2-foot swells, no waves. We didn't have any wind. We wouldn't have put our sails up. We were too inexperienced anyway. But that was just a beautiful crossing. It was arduous only because of the length of time and having to stay up all night. But it was memorable.
Sounds so. Thank you. Glenn?
Well, I'll have to say that was probably, we pulled into, I think it was Orange Beach, and to spend a December, part of January there. And it does get cold there because I walked out one morning, there was an icicle hanging off of my bimini. But the thing I remember most was we decided we were going to be there at Christmas. Since we were going to be there at Christmas, we needed to have a Christmas party. So Jenny put a little sign up at the in the marina office saying, anybody interested in a Christmas party, I'll sign up. Yeah, you too, dog. And so anyway, a couple people signed up, and I walked in there one day and I hear this voice say, "Hi, are you Glenn?" And I'm turning around, looking around. I don't see anything. And I kept looking. She says, "Hey, down here." And I looked down there was Sue. And she said, "We're coming to your Christmas party." And I looked at her, I said, "You know, you're a gorgeous little blonde. I can't wait for you to be there." So that's one of the most gorgeous things I've seen on my trip was when I looked down and saw her coming to my Christmas party. So.
And actually, we all ended up going to her boat because
ours wasn't big enough.
Many people got to be too big, so we ended up having to do it.
That's where we met Jim and Sue, and we followed each other around for quite a while and loved it.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
Wonderful. How about you, Jack?
Which Jack?
I don't think I've had any real pleasant surprises boating surprises over the last month or so, because I've sold my boat. I'm without at the moment. So anyway, I could tell you some scary stories.
Yeah. But you felt good when they were over, right?
Well, obviously I'm still here, so everything has turned out okay. But the first sailboat I had that I put together from a kit, the 26-foot Luger. And before I learned to sail it very well, I got out on it on my own, just me single-handed in a 26-footer.
Wow.
And the wind was blowing pretty good. So I popped the sail up and headed downwind, which was going kind of northeast out of where I live here in Lakeshore. And when I got up around the first light that's sitting out there in the Seltzer light, I think it's called. You may know where that is, but it's up at the end of this straight section before you turn and go into the Chattanooga Yacht Club up there. So anyway, I was heading up that way with the sail. The sail was pulled in a little bit, but it was not right up in the, I can't think of what I'm trying to say here. Sorry. Anyway, I had the main sheet pulled in a little bit and cleated down. That was the secret, cleating down the main sheet. And when I started to come about, the wind caught my sail and laid it over into the water. It laid the mast in the water, and I guarantee it was wet on the tip end. But I was very fortunate that it didn't throw me out of the boat.
Yes.
But I had to try to get down. This main sheet was cleated into a fitting that was right in the middle of the cockpit floor. And so I had to somehow crawl down there without jumping out of the boat and uncleat it. So, but I finally was able to do that. and she came right back up.
Wow.
Problem. And to my amazement, the boat didn't take on any water. So it was a little bit scary for me, but it taught me a lesson. Don't cleat in the main.
Yeah, I've been there and done that, Jack.
Right.
Sad thing about it, I've done it twice at two different boats.
You didn't learn the first time.
Didn't learn.
We've all done it.
Yeah, let that main go. Yeah.
Oh, well, so anyway,
Sounds exhilarating. Thank you, Jack. And
that's my
now,
story.
Jack Everett.
I think the most exciting thing or interesting thing that I can relate is just a combination of being able to cross to Hawaii a few times and then once across the Atlantic, and just being out there in the middle of the ocean and watching how weather systems develop and do, and planning on what you're going to do, how you're going to adjust sails for that. Did that a bit on coming across the Atlantic, because we were in a division where you could use an autopilot, but our autopilot control system stopped working, so we were having to manual steer. It's normally in ocean races you have to manual steer unless you're single-handed or double-handed. But anyway, we were fully crewed. But in this, the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers, the cruising division, autopilots are allowed. But just being out there, and of course we had a lot of weather, and so we didn't have any the really nice clear nights like I've seen on the Pacific going to Hawaii. But the Pacific stars, the stars out there in the middle of the ocean, it reminded me of being back home on the farm when I was young, and there wasn't that much light pollution around. We were 30 miles from Chattanooga, so we could barely see the glow of Chattanooga, but we could see the stars real well, the Milky Way, and all the constellations. But doing that, and I guess when I was in Australia, it was interesting to follow the Southern Cross when I had a chance to get up on deck when I wasn't downstairs navigating. But anyway, that experience has just been out there in the wide ocean and seeing those, generally nice, smooth swells, and then the excitement of when the swells get bigger and you're surfing down them. That's my exciting boating time.
Awesome. Thank you, Jack.
Because we had some good conditions Sunday on Lake Chickamauga here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wind.
Yeah,
There's some kind of wind. This challenge just go out and walk in that.
Yeah, we had a nice racing on Sunday.
I bet.
Oh, cool.
Bob Carroll.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me follow Jack Everett. He's navigated across the Atlantic and Pacific. I navigated our boat across the Tennessee River to Booker T one time. It's about
I got you.
No, we have been real blessed living on a boat, and there are a group of us that I've talked about a number of times that in our marina that feel comfortable being with one another. We've hung out not only this summer, but others. And we've had as many as 15 boats rafted up several times overnight, or a couple of multiple overnights. And so it's something special about being out as the sun's going down, just the quietness and spending time together. We've had a group of folks on Sam's boat more times than we can count. It seems that his was the go-to boat for the big groups. Yeah, but we've had several instances like it. Just really good time. So it's been a lot of fun. We feel blessed.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you, Bob. Hey, Mr. Sam. There you go.
Well, I've only been in the big boat world for right a year now. So there's been a lot of experiences in a year, from bringing the boat down from Knoxville on I think my third time ever driving a boat with twin screws and inboards, to bringing the boat down from Dayton on one engine. But Bob encouraged me to share my most recent exciting story that I will probably never forget from this past weekend. I did the color cruise down through the gorge, and through a series of unfortunate events, almost capsized this past weekend. And the exciting part is that we did not. But on my boat with almost 4 feet of freeboard, my tow rail was in the water.
Whoa!
Wow.
We got waked from behind while going through some rollers, and it broached me and spun me around and laid me over on my side.
Holy cow!
Rearranged the whole boat, rearranged all the crew, and it was an exciting few moments there. But I think that's one of those things that we're just excited to have gotten through it, and the boat lived to tell another tale after 47 years of boating, and an event like that. She held up and made it all the way back up to our home port.
They say the boats can take more than the folks on them.
It took me a
Thank
couple
God.
days to settle down from that one.
Your boat's a large power boat?
The 41-foot Chris Craft Commander.
Oh, good grief.
How
I've been
much
there in a sailboat, but thinking about that in a big power boat, that was scary.
Think about almost pitch bowling a 41-foot boat. That will
good
get your
grief.
adrenaline going.
We're glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it was one of those that we thought maybe it wasn't as bad from other people's perspective. We thought maybe it was just because we were on the boat, it felt really scary.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everyone started coming over the radio. Dauntless, are you okay? You almost went over. What the heck's going on up there? Like, well,
What caused the wave? What was the source of the wave?
So there was a series of 30 to 40 plus foot cruisers all going through the gorge at the same time. They were going way too fast, and so they got some standing wakes going. So I just slowed down to about 5 or 6 miles an hour to cross through some of the probably 4-foot waves, and then a 40-foot cruiser passed me on plane, probably 30 feet off my starboard, and his wake hit my transom. It just picked up the stern and spun me around. And once I spun around with all that forward momentum, it just rolled right over.
Wow.
My boat's 19.5 feet tall, so it's very top heavy. And as soon as we rolled, parallel with the wakes, it just kept on going.
Wow.
Thank you, Sam.
Glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Greg, you're next. Greg, go.
Oh, let's see. So back in the early 70s, and I was newly married, and we went on a vacation in California, San Diego. And if y'all may know Mission Bay there, some of you probably know it.
Yeah.
And they're renting sailboats in Mission Bay there. And we thought, well, that looks like fun. So we rented a sailboat, and I knew nothing about sailing at all. Surprisingly, the people who rented the sailboat, they didn't bother to ask. USA training. So we hopped in the sailboat, and there was a nice breeze blowing out to sea, and we took off, and we just sped across that bay there. And I'm thinking, boy, this is fun. Have a blast. So we decided it was time to turn around and come home. And so we made a U-turn, and then I learned all of a sudden there's more to sailing than I realized. And I thought I thought we were never going to get back. And just by trial and error, I gradually learned, how to make progress against the wind. And we finally did get back before it got dark.
Thank goodness.
Wife said, well, I'm never going on a sailboat again. And that's to this day.
Yeah.
And so you don't own a sailboat now, right?
No.
That's the baptism of fire. Okay, Mr. Joe Glass.
I can think of about a dozen incidents that weighed on me a bit. The very first time I took my own sailboat, the first sailboat, a Merritt 22, out on Fort Loudon Lake, the boat had been delivered without a vang, which is the tackle that holds the boom down on a sloop rig boat. And without a vang, the boom can rise enough, depending on the boat, to get caught in the backstay. And then you can't let the boom go out, and you tend to flop over. And I insisted on going out, brand new, going out even though the weather was pretty windy. So I was taught a lesson and got a boom vang pretty quick. But some other incidents, I guess they're similar to that. Heavy weather. Did an Atlantic crossing on a Krogan 54, and we had a storm, and one of the things was could never get any dry feet. Every time I was on watch in an open cockpit, a wave would break into the cockpit and fill up the sea boots. And so, yeah, well, those kinds of things are kind of memorable to me. But one of the characteristics about that kind of thing is approaching an island. And down the Caribbean, there are some islands with peaks on them, and you're navigating and making your approach, and the first thing you see is the peak come up, and then as you go closer and closer, curvature of the earth and all that, as you get closer, you begin to see the whole island. So between lake sailing in Knoxville and here in Chattanooga, and chartering in the Caribbean and doing boat deliveries, I never ocean raced, but I delivered boats that were going long distances. The one that went the furthest was from Fort Lauderdale to Lisbon, Portugal. And one of the fun things about that was spending a week or so in Portugal after the trip was over. A lot of these things come to mind, but too many stories, really.
Well, you did your 2 minutes. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. Marty?
I guess one of the times I enjoyed most on the boat was when Bob and I were just on our own. We'd had the boat for a while, and we went out and just overnight in a slough there on the Tennessee River. And I think we left, it was during the week, it wasn't the weekend. So there were no crowds there. There were a few boats there when we got there, but everyone had left. And then it was the weekday when we're coming back the next morning. And it was so beautiful. It was just like that was our private river. And I really enjoyed that, just cruising down the river all by ourselves. We could take in any sights. We didn't have to worry about other traffic or boaters. And I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Beautiful. That is beautiful too. Thank you. Bob?
Well, I guess there's a few things to include sinking the boat, but or almost sinking it. But
not like Sam did.
No, the thing is, to me, that was most memorable was the trip we took for the change of watch when we went over to Alabama, and we took Norm with us, and we spent 3 days going and 3 days coming back, And it was just an absolutely wonderful trip. A little rainy at times, but outside of that, it was just a great trip. We enjoyed it tremendously.
I'll
Yeah.
drink to that.
Yeah, we second that. We were with,
Yeah.
we were following
We
along.
were following along.
Great trip.
And
Awesome.
Linda even drove the boat. I remember that.
That's because John had to go down to the bathroom.
But you did a good job, Captain.
Thank you.
Okay, Bob Root. You got your mute on, Bob. Yeah.
A couple trips were memorable, but one of them, I was crewing on a 90-foot schooner for Grant Wood. He was the first mate and drafted me. And we'd sailed into the Chesapeake, up the Chesapeake, took the ship canal up to the Delaware River, and we're headed into Philadelphia for a tall ships convention. And this is on a gaff rig topsail 90-foot schooner. And the wind was just right. And so we actually short tacked our way up the Delaware River into downtown Philadelphia.
Oh, you got
Oh, my.
And schooners aren't real handy. They don't go to weather real well. And so we were beating our way up the Delaware River with everybody in Philadelphia watching us. And it was really a lot of fun and something you don't usually get a chance to do. And so we were feeling pretty good about our seamanship until the convention was over. And we watched Sagres, which is the sister ship to the Eagle. We watched her leave the dock under sail, no power. And that was impressive, watching a ship the size of the Eagle leave under sail.
Yeah.
So
For those that don't know what the Eagle is, that is the Coast Guard training vessel. Is that correct?
that is correct. Yeah, so she's a couple hundred feet long. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's big.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
it's-
her in San Francisco one time. It was awesome.
It was built by the Germans, and the Americans got her after World War II.
Yeah.
yep. And the Sagres is the Portuguese training ship.
Yeah.
And she makes the Eagle look shabby. Every piece of brass is just brightly polished. The woodwork is all varnished, just spectacular.
Okay, well, thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Who's this on 3060, last four telephone number?
That's Joseph.
Okay,
Oh, Joseph, okay.
you want to give
Gave up on the.
give us your story.
Sure. Yeah, we don't have near as much experience as y'all, but I want to thank y'all for sharing with us and for teaching us. We started out with Bob Roop, who taught our whole family navigation, and then did the advanced navigation with Greg, and then Jim and Sue have been answered many a call and email and questions along the way. So we started our Great Loop adventure on October 1, and here we are a month in, and we've been all the way to Green Turtle Bay, and now we're back at Aqua Yacht Harbor right at the start of the northern end of the Tombigbee. But I suppose our prettiest spot that we anchored on this trip was at Higgins Bay, right off was that the Kentucky Lake?
Yeah.
Kentucky Lake. And we anchored, it was a Tuesday night 2 weeks ago. We anchored and nobody was there, just a couple fishermen. They left. We lowered the dinghy, went around and followed a bald eagle who was just giving us a show, flying around. And then that night we made a campfire on the island, and that was the night of the meteor shower. And fortunately the moon set pitch, and we all got to see the Milky Way. And then
We lost you.
did about
Audio.
You're breaking up on us.
We heard the Milky Way.
Yeah.
how many we saw, but it was fantastic. So that's so far been our favorite memory.
That's great. So thank you so much for sharing that.
How about you, Alyssa?
She shared hers.
Oh, I didn't hear her.
Yeah, you didn't? Oh, you missed that? That was good. Oh, we got, oh, Melissa, where's Melissa?
Alyssa, Alyssa.
Oh, I'm here. I'm next to Joseph. He's talking. I would say I don't know what my favorite part is yet. I think I might be more of a marina girl. I hate to say, but y'all have to understand, we bought our very first boat 18 months ago, and it's a 47 footer. And so there's been
Yay!
it's been a lot of learning. We named the boat Willing because I was willing to go on this crazy adventure with Joseph.
That's wonderful.
And we have 2 teenage daughters that are with us. And so, it took many years of planning, and I'm glad that we're finally doing this. I'm just so thankful that we've met the people that we have and gotten the support and the knowledge and the education. And I look forward to sharing more stories with you all when we have more to tell.
And you will.
Well,
I'm hoping they're all good.
people, just before we get to Brian, well, let's get to Brian then. Is that all your story there?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Brian,
Yes.
you're next.
Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of stories to tell. Y'all inspire me to want to build some memories, though. I bought my first ever boat about a year ago, and it's a little pontoon boat. So I'm still exploring within a mile of my house up around Birchwood. So nothing has happened to me too good or too bad, but we're enjoying it at least. So we've got a ways to go.
Line. Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
That's what we're interested in.
Right.
That's great.
Do you play or do you fish?
A little of both.
Oh,
Mostly, thus far, it's been mostly kind of sightseeing, trying to figure out, if I go, first I go a mile out and then 2 miles out, and then, make sure I can still find my way home.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's been nice. It really has. So we've enjoyed a lot of the sunsets up there. The sunset wine cruises are nice.
Amen.
Well, thank everybody for
How
sharing.
about Pam? Pam Trotter.
Yeah, where's Pam? I think she left.
Oh, maybe she couldn't get the connection.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was there, but she's gone now.
Well, let me, while we're here, let me share one more piece of good news. I disappeared there for a couple of moments because I had to answer a conference call from my daughter. Our only child is expecting her first child, so my first grandchild.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, they're down in Atlanta. So my wife is down there with her, so I thought I really needed to take that call.
I think so.
Yeah, you definitely would take
That's
that.
an important call.
Hey, it's so good to share stories, and especially boating stories. So if we could do this on and on, and maybe we'll have to do this again and maybe make it a regular. But I enjoyed it so much, and thank you so much, because to me that's what it's all about. And the good times, and sometimes there aren't so good times, but when we get through those times of sheer terror, then that's a good thing, and that's a good feeling. So, but there's some good stories to be told and to be heard. So we're looking forward to doing this again as we go along.
Can we tell our terror stories next time?
Terror story. Maybe we'll do terror
Terror
stories.
stories.
Oh, good. That's funny. One of the things that we want to do tonight is first before we go to the next step is I want to say a big thank you to all those that aren't here tonight, but who responded to Linda Grosjean's request to vote on the slate of officers that was presented by the nominating committee. I want to thank the nominating committee who pulled together the list of this new slate of officers for the coming year. And Linda asked me to report for her that of the membership, she had 37 responses that voted all yes, and there were no nays. So, so there was by unanimous consent, basically, the slate was accepted by the membership. So I thank everybody's who participated, who agreed to continue or step in for the first time as far as the bridge and the committees. So we thank you all for that. And so in the December meeting, which normally we would have a big December meeting, which would be a nice shared dinner where the squadron would provide the meat and people would bring things to share. And it's always a fun time. And then we would always at that time have our final vote on the actual membership and accept any nominations from the floor if there were any. But at some point in December, we'll do the final vote for the actual new bridge officers for the coming year. So anyway, thank you all for that. And
John,
yes.
As a member, I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of the people who are willing to step up and take those offices.
Yes.
We're going to have a busy year next year, and we really, the membership does appreciate that you are willing to stand up and get in the melee, participate. Thanks.
Well, like I was telling the Bob and Marty, I said, well, at my age, you never know. You just say, if I make it tomorrow, that's, thank you, Lord. So we'll take it one day at a time. And fortunately, I've been blessed to be able to function and in good health. So I take my example from John Cook, and he's my inspiration. So, and John did it. I can follow in his footsteps. So it's a big footstep to fill. So anyway, thank everybody for agreeing to continue to participate. We've got an exciting year ahead. We're looking forward to it. And we've got so many good things going, and we're going to talk about that from a little bit more tonight. And share first, before we get into that more detail on that, I wanted to just share a little bit of the vision statement. And it's important that everybody understands what it is that our SWOT analysis resulted in. And so from that, we've developed a vision statement. And then we've got individuals who have put together some strategic initiatives that we're looking forward to implementing in the coming year. So, but to do this, as I said in the Seaway, my letter in the Seaway, none of this will work if we don't have everybody's participation. So it's important that we get, first of all, a buy-in on our vision statement. We need everybody to be on board of what we're trying to achieve. Now, there was the SWAT team analysis basically was an attempt for us to try to reevaluate what it is that we're about and what it is that we want to be, and what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses and what are our challenges. So how can we go about achieving something that's better than what we've had so far? And it's been good, but I think it can be so much better. So we've got a plan to do that, and to begin that plan, we've got a vision statement, and it was a general consensus of all the folks on the SWAT team that we want to become the go-to organization in Chattanooga for all things boating. So that's a tall order. To do that means that we got to get involved in a lot of things going on in the community. We've got to be known. We've got to be out there. We've got to be the face of boating in Chattanooga and on the river and in the waterways. So that's a tall order, but we've all agreed that that's what we want to be. We want to be, and we want to become the go-to organization in Chattanooga for all things boating. And so we want to put that out there and for our membership to buy into that, to accept that. And if we do that, then that means that we all got to be committed to doing what it is that's going to be necessary to get ourselves recognized. And believe me, no organization of our caliber has more going for it than the United States Power Squadron, America's Boating Club of Chattanooga. And we have so much to draw from in terms of our national organization. And we've got people that are on the national organization that are deeply involved and committed to what it is that it's going to take to make that a reality in terms of what it takes to be in the public relations field. That's what it's going to take. And to do that, we've got to be the people making contacts with the people who are in the boating activities in Chattanooga and in the area. And I'm so happy that the folks that had agreed to develop some of their strategic initiatives have already got that going. And Bob Carroll recently met with 3 of the top brokers in the area and have secured from them the recognition that we probably are, in their estimation, the go-to people in boating, because they realized after Bob explained to them that when it comes to selling a boat, you want to make sure it's been properly inspected for safety and for the safety items on it. So we can do that with our vessel safety checks. And so they've agreed that whenever they have a new boat or sell, that they want to call on us. So that's something we want to follow up with. And Bob, we thank you very much for taking that initiative and making those contacts for us, and that we can move forward on them. So, would you like to say anything about that further, Bob?
I do think it's a good opportunity for the squadron, not only to help the boating community. And John Pry, when I spoke with the 3 top brokers in the area, they all were very energized about having us come on board, so to speak, and offer a vessel safety check with any of their used brokered boats. Brian McNeil being one indicated that between the sale of a boat and the delivery, quite often the previous owner will start taking some items off the boat. It's not anything they're doing other than just removing sometimes their personal items or sometimes not thinking about it. But in reality, they wind up taking a lot of the safety items off the boat. So what may have passed inspection one week is no longer in compliance. And Marty Puryear, in fact, said that he might make that part of his pre-delivery program, is just have us to come over and do a vessel safety check. The second point of it is it gets us face to face with a brand new boat owner who could be invited to an on-water activity with a squadron, or just get to know them and hopefully bring on some new members into the squadron. So I think hopefully it will be a good opportunity to increase the size of the club and help the boating community as well.
That's great. So I think that's a tremendous potential there, and we definitely want to follow through with that. So thank you, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And,
sure.
We also have Sue has taken initiatives and developed a plan for implementing our public relations steps that we want to get underway in the coming year. And so she's got a plan to make that happen. And Jack Everett has a plan to implement our social contact through the social media service in terms of reaching out to folks through the internet. And that can open up a lot of avenues that we haven't had available to us in the past. So and then Greg Golan, he's reviewed and outlined opportunities that we have for online training that we can implement, and it's a lot of potential there. So we've got so many avenues, and I'm going to ask Jim Como to review some of those further with us, if you would, at this time, Jim.
Well, you stole about half of my notes already here, so I'll have to work around that.
Okay.
I put some more information, some more details on the Seaway that came out a week ago. But what your for the most part, the executive committee has been doing for the last 2 months, or seems longer than that, but under cover of darkness, we've been meeting regularly on the process to improve the way the squadron relates to the public and how we can do better. It started out with what we're calling a SWOT analysis, SWOT, where we gathered together to identify what we perceive as strengths and weaknesses of the squadron. We analyze those and kind of prioritize those. From there, we developed a strategic plan and the mission statement that John was talking about. Basically, what do we want to be? What's our purpose in life? And how are we going to achieve it? So we developed from there some action items, and those were some of the lists that John was just talking about. But to implement a lot of these ideas, we need more bodies. We need some volunteers. I hate to say it, but it's still a volunteer organization where every once in a while you got to raise your hand in the air, even though the military taught you never to do that. But we really do need some extra ideas, some extra help on a lot of areas. And I realize I'm preaching somewhat to the choir. At least half the people on the video tonight have already agreed to help out. But I want you to be thinking outside the box, to come up with other ideas on how we can do things better. John talked about what Bob Carroll had started with, is contacting the brokers in town to offer opportunity to help the safety of the boaters in the area, but also get our name in front of more people, get the exposure. But realize now, in order to do that properly, to implement that program, we're probably going to need someone else to get certified as a vessel examiner. And that's a rather lengthy, involved process. The squadron has 3 examiners right now, but we could do so much more. So if you really want to get into the meat of this thing, this would be a great opportunity for someone to really, really get into some of these technical details. I say that for any of you engineers out there.
Yeah, like Sam, maybe.
No, I'm not saying names. I'm just saying some engineers here.
The young guy, Sam.
Hint, hint.
Another example of what, you know, how you might think outside the box here. Sue was on the phone this week talking to Connie Williamson. Now, admittedly, she's not super active. She and Mike are not that active in the squadron, but they do participate every now and then. But Sue's asking or thinking, one thing that the squadron can do is to co-sponsor a fishing tournament somehow. We want to emphasize or direct more attention to the small boaters, the fishermen in the area. Not, I think we got the large power boaters covered. We need to do things a little differently in that respect. But we also want to include more small boaters here with vessel safety checks, co-sponsor a fishing tournament. So Sue's talking to Connie Williamson and kind of throwing out ideas. And Connie says, well, my husband fishes all the time. He joins all these tournaments. He knows who all the sponsors are. We'd be glad to hook you up with these people. So just a casual conversation can turn into an opportunity for us to get our name in front of more people, get more people to know who we are and what we do. So that's a type of thinking outside the box that we're looking.
You're breaking up.
Areas. Say again?
You're breaking up there a couple of times.
All right. So what areas do we need help in specifically? First off, anything related to public relations, public contact. Get the word out, get our name in front of people. Glenn Pope has offered or agreed to help Sue out to be basically an assistant PR person here with the squadron. But we need people who know people. If you know anyone in the newspaper, not that people read newspapers so much anymore, but any organization, any activity in town, we need to know that information so Sue can develop that. We need some help on member recruitment and member retention. If you have ideas in that respect, we need to know that. Part of that is voting activities. Sam Hornsby has agreed to help out there. Am I coming through or breaking up too much?
You're good.
All right. Sam has really stepped forward in that respect to help us out with a lot of ideas he has as far as how we can be more of a voting organization for existing members. And of course, that would help draw more new members too. So all this kind of ties together. We need someone to take over what we'll call it the committee for meetings, help us organize. Once we can get back together, help organize these meetings. If we're going to have a speaker, I've been trying for the last year when we were able to meet face to face. There's a real good prop shop over here in Saudi Daisy. I talked to the guys at the boat show a year ago, and they're chomping at the bit to come tell us about who they are and what they do. What do you look for? What makes you say, I really ought to send this prop in to have it retuned? People like that all comes under meetings committee. There's also a membership committee that would help with any new members, process the paperwork, determine the dues amount, whether it's a family membership or an individual membership, someone transferring from one squadron into our squadron. All that comes under a membership committee. So there's a lot of opportunity to raise your hand in the air and come help us. I still go back to the old story about the little red hen. Who will help me bake this bread? Well, not I, I'm too old. Not I, I'm too busy. Not I. You know, at some point, not you either. But we don't need no little red hens here. We need help. We need volunteers. And I think together, working together with a lot of people involved, it's going to be a more better place to be part of. I'm done.
That's exciting. Hey, there's some new exciting things going on with Sue. She's looked into our, normally we do at the Christmas party, or actually in November at our gathering, we would normally bring our gifts for the Samaritan Center. But this year, because of the pandemic, this is not going to be doable. So Sue, would you just give us a quick update on what's going on with the Samaritan Center for this year's Christmas?
Yeah, yes. Thank you for the opportunity, John. I have now been speaking with the Samaritan Center, and their needs are as great, if not greater, this year than in past years. They are in somewhat of a bind themselves because they cannot interact with the public either in the ways that we have done traditionally. So what they are suggesting is that the squadron make a donation, because I did indicate to them that we really would like to do something for them. And they will buy gift cards and probably either mail them or hand them out to their clientele. So keeping in mind that this season, people's needs are as great, if not greater, than other times during the year, I would like to ask each and every member to consider giving some money for the Samaritan Center. And I talked to John and we worked out a way to do it. What I need you to do is take down my name and address, or if you have a roster, you will have my address on there. But I have it, I'm ready to give it to everybody tonight if I may. And I'd like you to write a check to the Power Squadron, but indicate on the bottom left-hand side that it's donation for Samaritan Center. And I will pass those checks to Tom Street, who will then add up the amounts and write a single check to the Samaritan Center. And it will get delivered to them in time for them to utilize it for the holidays. So our turnaround on this does have to be somewhat speedy, because they generally are giving out their gifts and donations that have been made to them at the end of November, the very first week in December. So if I might give you my name and address, do people have a pencil? And
You can have Jack Everett send it
or
out.
actually, what I'm going to do is I'll ask Linda if she would send out a blanket message to everyone with my name and address on it. I think
Yeah, that's what we ought to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack made a Power Squadron or America's Boater Club?
Chattanooga Sail and Power.
That's
That's our official name right as of today.
Yeah.
So we may be changing it, but we got to do that in the bylaws, I guess, as part of the rules committee. But so I'll have Linda send out that email to everyone, and if you could try to get it turned around within a week, by the time it gets mailed to me, with all those ballots that are floating out there, probably
No politics.
it'll take an extra couple of days, but then I can get it to Tom, and he can get a check to the Samaritan Center by the end of the month, despite the holidays.
That's great.
Thank you,
All right.
Sue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you ahead of time, everyone.
Yes. Okay, all right, so I'm excited about the vision statement. I think there's so many opportunities for us to get our name out there, to get involved in things civic wise in Chattanooga that will bring attention to what we can do in terms of what our strengths are and what our gifts are. and boating, and we can do a lot to make the waters a lot safer place. When it comes to education, when it comes to safety, when it comes to training, I think, we're definitely the go-to people on boating. So nobody's got the resources that we have available to us and can do the things that we can do. And
Can I say one more thing? I know I'm interrupting.
one more thing, Sue.
When Jim was talking, there was something that I wanted to add. Greg Goulian, you should have spoke up. We are going to need another instructor next year. We just
ABC.
don't, in particular for ABC, if for nothing else, it'd be nice if they taught something else too, but we do need to certify another instructor because we will not have an instructor for ABC after next year. So even if you would consider just teaching one class.
And I'm still available to teach ABC too. So, but
We
yeah.
have several instructors that can teach ABC. A
They
lot
have
of
to
them.
be certified.
Yes,
to teach
we are
ABC.
certified.
We have, yeah, we're gonna be doing a instructor certification class. Back part of February, we'll start it. We're also going to be doing, for anybody who needs a renewal of their certification, we'll be doing that also.
So anyway, I think we got things going in that area, and we'll have that covered. So, anybody else have any thing they'd like to share with us as the evening draws to a close? Okay, I thank everybody for being here, for your attention. It's important that we continue to talk up what we're doing, and it's important. If you are excited about what we're doing, as I'm excited about it, and some of the others are excited about it, then we need to share that with other people in the squadron, and we need the squadron as a whole to get excited about it, so that people can realize that we're not here as business as usual. We're a changing organization, and we're a growing organization, and we're an exciting organization that's got some great days ahead of us on the water and some great opportunities for bringing on other people to share in our good fortune of being voting people who know what we're doing and who want to share that and get other people on board. So
I do have one thing,
yes,
John.
Yes.
Yeah, I created a group on Facebook called America's Boating Club Chattanooga.
Yes.
It's to replace the old Power Squadron thing that Linda had set up many years ago. And anyway, so if you or any of your friends that you know of, and not necessarily have to be boaters, just to spread the word, if they go on Facebook and look up America's Boating Club Chattanooga, they could join that group and help spread the word about our club. I still have a banner up there that says Chattanooga Sail and Power Squadron because we're still kind of under that, but I'm going to be changing that kind of to more incorporate America's Boating Club. But if you don't do Facebook, fine. If you know people that do, tell them about it. Just America's Boating Club Chattanooga. All they have to do is go in the search.
Yes.
Good.
I'd like to say from my humble standpoint that fantastic genius Jack Everett putting this stuff together, this computer, whatever it is, we really appreciate it.
Yes, we do, Jack.
You're welcome.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're another one of our valuable assets, as are each and every one of you, one of our valuable assets. So we appreciate every one of you, and we thank you all.
Y'all keep your bilges dry.
Hey, anyway, I'm excited. I mean, that's pretty good for an old guy like me to get excited, isn't it? I tell you, if I can get excited, then imagine what other folks can do. So Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I think we've got a great year ahead of us, and even if we can't do all the things that we would like to do, we're going to continue to plan on it so that when we're able to do it, we'll be out there doing it. But I think we'll be able to do on the water activities, and I'm planning on us scheduling some on the water activities. So, I mean, if we can get out there and do that and without contaminating anybody or each other. So I think it's
Okay, I'm signing off. See y'all.
See you.
Bye, Norm.
Good night, everybody. Thank you,
Bye.
Jack. Thanks, everybody.
I'll send out a link to a recording for people to watch it later or share with other people.
Yes, we
Okay.
definitely want the rest of them to
It
hear
was
that.
good to see everybody.
Thank you for your sharing, all your stories, and we got to do that again. That was great.
Hey, Sue Kimmel, give me a call.
Okay, will do.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jack.
All right. You're welcome.